How to manage time. See, how to manage time. There are multiple different ways to manage time. And there is one approach in which you finish the questions, the 10 markers, in 60 minutes. Okay, in 60 minutes. Now, the thing is, actually, it should take you 70 minutes, 60 to 70 minutes. Okay, but in case you are very, very sort of like disciplined and you can actually deliver, you can try to finish in your 60 minutes itself, giving you enough time to sort of craft the lengthier answers, think about those answers, and then bring in the requisite sort of dimensions, do justice to those dimensions, and so on and so forth. Okay, if you can do this. Okay, now even if you say, if there is a 10 marker, which is your 7 minutes, okay, if it is your 15 marker, okay, 14 minutes, okay, and if it's your 20 marker, it is going, sorry, this is your 11 minutes, I'm so sorry. Okay, 11 minutes, and this is going to be your 14 minutes, right? Now, this is a standard sort of a model that you would want to follow, but I would suggest that don't keep this in mind. Think that for easy questions, you should basically reduce a minute or knock off a minute or a minute and a half in these kind of questions. If it's 15 marker and 20 marker, again, do the proportionate sort of this thing. Because kya hota hai na? So keep that extra time, keep extra time for crafting for your moderate questions and the difficult questions. यहाँ पे सोचना पड़ता है. You have to think first and then decide how exactly you're going to approach that particular question and then write. And this is 100% guaranteed that you will have to do this. Okay, and if it is going to take you time, so then you will probably speed through, or you might not even be able to give that exact time in order to think it through. Okay, this is one sort of an approach. I would even suggest that you try to take another sort of an approach in which easy questions first. Okay, then difficult questions later. Okay, later. This is going to be also having some pros and cons. So this is the first one. Okay, this is the second sort of an approach, or the third sort of an approach in which take long answers first. Okay, okay, and just do the 10 markers last 70 minutes. In fact, I'll give you the pros and cons of all of these. The first one that I basically told you, right? Try to finish the 10 markers quick in the first 60 to 70 minutes. Okay, and I know that there are people who just swear by this kind of idea, and that they will do the 10 markers first and then go on to the long answer questions. Okay, and that gives them a lot of confidence that, array, 10 questions are done. I have only 9 questions and itna time baki hai. Right, that is one sort of this thing. Psychologically, it plays a good role. That is the pros in this thing. The second thing is that there is a con. So for instance, this is not a strategy that works well for me, and I'll tell you the reason also. Because when I start, I'm generally slow off the blocks. Mera slow hi start hota hai. Right, so when I'm thinking in the beginning, my thinking speed is basically like, whether it is paper 1, paper 2, jo bhi hai, it takes me a little time to sort of increase my thinking speed, and then also my hand speed basically starts a little slower. Okay, so in case I'm starting with this thing, I might not finish in 70 minutes. I end up taking a little more and then getting compressed in many different pages that I have to deliver later. Okay, another approach is like easy questions first and difficult sort of questions later. In this kind of an approach, this is a standard kind of model that we do, right? Like pehle prelims also, you basically do this thing, take the easy questions, but difficult questions baad mein aayenge, like we will come back to this. But however, there is an advantage of doing this thing, because what you're not going to be compressed, you're not going to be pressed for time, and baad mein you can deal with the other questions. Yahan pe you will maximize your score. That is the pros here. Okay, but here in difficult questions later, the cons is going to be that you'll be flipping through your booklet multiple times. Okay, you're going to be here and then you're going to be there, and then again cross-checking, and so on and so forth. And then the third kind of a model that I would say is that take the long answer questions first, 10 markers in the last 70 minutes. What happens is, even if this has taken you long, the pros about this particular approach is that even if you have this approach has taken you more time, okay, even if you have 60 minutes, even if you have 55 minutes, trust me, 10 markers can be delivered there. Under pressure also you can do it, because 10 markers में लिखने के लिए उतना होता नहीं है. The number of dimensions is sort of limited, the number of headings are going to be limited, or the number of sort of things that you're going to write in this is going to be limited. Okay, but when you take a concept, the same concept, when you have to write it for 15, no, the pehla 2 pages, it will come out like very soon. But after that, you'll slow down a little. 20 markers, again, you will slow down a little. What else can I write? Okay, can I bring in this element? You have to start thinking now. In this one, basically, you can go like very quick, because 2 pages ka knowledge, so you will definitely have. And here, they don't even ask you to craft those answers based on like the pattern they want. The question will be kind of direct. It will not even be a full sentence, right? It will be cultural relativism and ethnocentrism, or something. It is not even going to be a full sentence. It is up to you to decide what are the sort of areas that you want to touch upon, right? What are the sort of areas that you want to touch? It's like So a lot of flexibility. So this also has a particular advantage. Now that I've given you many of these kind of ideas, you try to see एक exam, just go to that exam hall and then try to execute one of these styles that you feel is best for you, and try to see if it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, you still have time to sort of recalibrate and try to sort of like, change a little bit. Okay, so that is what I would basically suggest. Okay, this worked best for me. Okay, and this works best for some people. This wala thing I'm not sure. Okay, but this is something, in case you're new, you try this as well. I think many of you would probably be doing this as well. Okay, so these are the options that I'm leaving you with. Okay, now you just make a wise, conscious choice depending upon who you are, what is your personality. See, for me, last 10 minutes made is very difficult to deliver anything of good quality. I get very stressed. Okay, and my mind stops working the second they say last 10 minutes, guys. It becomes relatively difficult for me. Jo pata hai, even if I know this thing, I find it difficult to sort of deliver on that. Okay, when I'm not under stress, I will probably be able to give a much better answer.